Welcome back, boils and ghouls. I thought I had the thing going when I put this on, but we got our plastic underneath. We put our plywood on top, but I didn't mill it down. It sticks out a little bit, so we're going to use a router, and we just got a flush trim bit on top of that. So we're going to use that. Tool in my tool arsenal scares me the most. It's the router, if you ask me. Blade's spinning at over 3,000 RPM. See, with a straight router bit like this, it has a bearing on the bottom that'll spin. We're going to sink this down right here. There we go. A little gougy. That's my fault. Should have had the bearings sticking out a little bit further. But see, I kind of ate away here a little bit. Well, this will be behind the exterior sheet that goes here, and then I can just caulk along here. So other than that, it's not sticking way out, so that's the good thing. Put some more of these screws in. It's unplugged. But like I said, I should have slunk a screw in here because it was lifted a little bit and the bearing was riding along here. But as long as I didn't subtly sink it, it doesn't hurt too much. It's me not doing my digillions. It's me not doing my checks and balances to make sure, hey, everything should focus and work. I have a plunge router downstairs I could have used in my workshop, but I just grabbed that one because that one works so good. Back when we had the good old Sears, Craftsman was actually a good name brand. Oh, yeah, that sucker is all it. It's just a driveway slants down, so you look at this thing, it's just a big, massive area. It looks like the whole thing is just tipping, and it isn't, because I measured it square all along the back here. And I thought about, I probably remember me telling you that I was going to use this plywood all the way around, but I was thinking a little bit more about it. And why would I do that? I can just compensate to make these as half an inch taller instead of trying to manipulate another piece of plywood. This front part here I'm probably going to, because it's a little bit smaller there in the front. Other than that, I'm going to check the other side and make sure that doesn't keep rabbits. That side should be fine. We missed one spot right here. I couldn't put a screw in. This one I couldn't get the screw in. I don't want to put 2.5. Sleeping Beauty. Like I said, the plastic underneath is a more of a vaping barrier. Yep, these two ends don't. You're right. But like I said, there's going to be a board from here to the top. Plywood from here to the top. So then I'll just lay a piece of caulking along here. You won't even hardly notice these oopsies are here. The conversation piece. But yeah, I'll measure this, because I think it's greater. No, it's less than 3/4. 1 3/4. I know I promised that we're going to go vertical this week, but before I go vertical, I want to get the floor system underneath put on, because then I can just slide it into the pickup and figure out from there what I'm doing. I went and bought some more material. I got some 3.5 inch screws, which I'll show you what I'm going to do with those. But I'm going to do something with those to secure more of the platform that's under here to the top, because she's kind of sagging a little bit. I will figure that out. Right now we're going to take and put some support in here for the floor. So I got a couple of these cut. We're going to do 2 every span here. Trim that off a little bit. Get the structure a little bit more secure here. Let me readjust you guys. So my idea is I'm going to put it in right where those are. And we're going to secure it from each side. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to tip this. I should have done this before, but hindsight's 2020. So I'm going to tip this thing up. I'm going to, I got some porch and floor. Hopefully it's still good. I'm going to porch and floor. Wait till that dries. Then I'm going to secure the plywood on the bottom here. The plywood is 8x4, and this is slightly over 4, so it'll still go to the ends, but it won't go all the way to the end. It'll be halfway, a little over halfway on each side, which will work. As long as it secures the front, back, and the middle pieces, we're fine. We're eventually going to have to put blocking in along the side. It's over here. Just going to have to be blocking all along this for the main floor to sit on. The main floor is going to be half inch, and I'm still debating. I have some leftover hardwood floor. Just, it's stuff that has to be nailed in. I could use a flooring nailer, or I can just use the brad nailer and we can nail it, and that'll add more rigidity, but it'll add some weight to it. And then I got some, I don't think it's wide enough, that's the thing. I got some leftover linoleum stuff, flooring, whatever you want to call it. So I got some of that, and I could do that too. I just think the hardwood floor would look nice, and then lay a thing of like epoxy resin over the top of it or something to preserve it better. That's another plan. But like I said, we'll work on the inside when we get to the inside. Right now it's get this bottom flooring on. Eventually I'll buy the top pieces of paneling, but we're gonna go horizontal. So we're going to go more vertical after this. So let's get to screwing, and probably not going to glue these because most of the time it's just going to be me setting the glue down on top and it's just going to seep out anyways. So we're just going to screw this and call it good, because we're going to put the paneling underneath, and I'm going to use liquid nails, which I think mine's still good. If not, then I'll have to get some more liquid nails. That's only like $5 for some liquid nails. And then I'm going to liquid nails, and then I'm going to screw the corners, probably one every other, with my 1.5 inches. I still have some 1.5 inches, which I'll just use those. Just secure it a little bit better. But right now we're going to do this, which I should have done when in the first video when I built the base. If you guys seen the first video, probably were screaming about it. Like, hey, why aren't you putting the supports in now? Well, I'm kicking myself because I should have. But let's get to working on this. Okay. fine if it twisted a little bit. We'll get it straightened. I'll sink that in a little deeper, and I'll work on that other side over there. And then I'll go inside and do it, and then I'll stagger the next set a little bit over. You know, kind of stagger them back and forth. This gives me something more to glue and screw to. And then we'll work on going vertical. I grabbed 5 more boards. I know I need more than 5, but 5 to start with. They're not that expensive. I think I could have got 6 for like 20 bucks. And 6 doubled is 12, so technically I grabbed 10 boards. Time will tell if this actually works. It's pretty solid. I kind of don't like how it rocks right here in the middle, but it doesn't seem like it's sank down enough into those. So I don't know if that's the problem. But I'm thinking about putting some supports in here to add a little more rigidity. Yeah. Okay, that one's there. Grab ourselves the screw. Oh, that's somehow this box got closed on me. I never close this box. There we go. Okay, it's the first time I've ever opened the whole box. This must be me. Screw look bent. This is gonna add a little more structural strength to it too. But like I said, I do not like how it wheels. It doesn't wiggle the other way. Putting 1, 2, 3, 4 along that side, and then these big support beams, I think helped with that. But I should have put 3 in the front. Like I said, I'm probably gonna get in here. I'm gonna stagger 1 in the middle, the lower, and the one on the top a little higher. Just because I think if I go higher, this is gonna want to sway. It's a nice big overhang. It's a little over 4 feet of an overhang, which is gonna be nice for a sleeping loft. I got a plan to fix. This is how this board came. This is why I got it for $7. It had this nice gouge in it, but I got a plan of mixing some wood glue and some wood shavings to make some wood putty, and we'll try filling that and sanding it. This is going to be not as noticeable because it's going to be underneath the truck, so I'm not too worried. I just want to get it so it's a little bit better off, a little more of a chance, and it's kind of sagged on me, which kind of tells me maybe my liquid nails isn't as good. Maybe I should have bought some. I might go and get some more liquid nails. But let's get the inside of these. These are number 10, which I was looking online are more structural, so these are classified more of as for structural support. But like I said, I was not worried about structural strength because I built a big old loft style bed with these same screws. It's been about 4 years now, and I have no issues with that. So I mean, I did my research on it, and because I was kind of nervous, I'm like, should I be using structural screws? And then I'm looking online, and I'm like, if they are number 9 or 10 deck screws, they're considered for the structure of the deck, which structural screws. So yeah, got Missy over here rolling around. We got those two secured in there. They shouldn't be going nowhere. Like I said, before I flip this, I'm going to put some structure in that. I just don't like the way it just wobbles. You look, to me, scary. Even though there's screws in there, they can still snap. And I think giving it a little bit more structure would be better. So we're gonna move on up to the next set, and then from there we'll move to the next set, and then we'll get this ready. Then we'll move on those in the front to secure them better, and then we'll flip this whole thing this way. Well, not exactly right away. We're going to measure this from there to there, see how long it is, and then we'll flip it. That one. You still feel it from having knee surgery back in January. Two. This is mostly our floor support system, so this is going to be good. Going to offer us the rigidity we want. It would seem like in the process of me filming, it turned itself off, so I'm not sure if you've seen any of that. But anyways, boils and ghouls, we got all our pieces all the way back, so our center is all supported now. So when we put the piece of plywood on, you'll have more spots to secure it to the bottom. And then once we get the plywood on, I plan on setting it back into the truck and working on the way up. I'm still thinking about other ways to secure this to the truck. Been looking at other things. Although I've been reading some things saying that if you secure it to the anchor points in the bed, it's fine. So I guess if you guys got any more ideas on that, let me know. Like I said, I've never built one of these. I've never had one of these, so I don't even know how they secure themselves. I'm just doing what I think is right, and I could be totally wrong on it. So now we're just going to work on the beams that go across here, and every single one of those to support this so it doesn't have so much wiggle to it. Should sure it up. But anyways, nothing like doing it, so let's get it done. Just gotta figure where I put my tape measure. I just had it too. You ever just set something down and you just misplace where you put it? Look at Missy over here. She's got herself her little pig. I want to say it's a pig. She's over here just like yum 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 yum. I like this piggy. Anyway, so let's go back to what we're doing. The things you don't realize until you actually start getting more and more together. So we're gonna put this, I thought this thing's measured to 13. Off by a little bit. There's my tape measure. Okay. As I was saying though, the things you don't realize it needs to be addressed until later on. Like, I thought it was supported enough, but it just needs a little bit more love in it, which is fine. We'll give it some more support. It's not going to be screwed and glued. It's not going to be glued. It's going to be screwed. But I think that should be sufficient. But like I said, I've never built one of these before. This is not up my alley. And until you actually try building one of these, you don't realize how much it actually takes. Oh. Shy over 16. So just a shy over 16. These are supposed to be 16 on center. I didn't even put them 16 on center. I did. No, you look at the old video. Actually, this one says, yeah, shy over 16 and a half. So a little over 16 and a half. Let's go cut another one to 16 and a half. Thought about going with diagonal blocking, but then I thought to myself, why? I mean, it will offer a lot good support because its triangles are stronger. But I think this will work. Now I'll come around the other side of you and we'll get that last one on that side. And then we will work on the very last one. All right. All right. Very last piece will come after this. That's already making it stronger. It's like almost night and day. One more and I think it'll be good. This last one is just 13 and 7/8. I mean, 12 and 7/8. 12 and 7/8. All right. 12 and 7/8 looks like about right. What? It's not snug, but it's not the bad. All right. Uh-oh, here comes Missy. Ah! I thought it was in there good. Don't assume. All right, last one. Still a little flex to it. I don't think we're going to totally get it out until we put the wall on. But that is nothing compared to what it was. Before it looked like it was just gonna, this whole side was just gonna cave over either way. So I think that's better. So we got all of this screwed together. Got all that in there. And then now we gotta measure the length of the underneath floor, cut it. So we don't have to worry about the width. The width's fine. So as I was saying though, we just do the length. It's already cut to 4 because they're 4x8 sheets, so this is slightly over 6. So we're gonna have less than 2 feet left over. So we'll get that cut and milled up. This took a full 2x4. So we got 4 2x4s left to start doing upper walls. We're gonna need more than that. But for now, I'm going to figure the other stuff out. Alright, boils and ghouls. So I got the bottom one on. I thought I was recording when I put it on there, but I didn't have it recording. But right now, I'm going to put this front piece on. I got the good old liquid nails here. And I'm going to stick this on. Got to paint it over yonder. So I got the icing on. So we're gonna put that on the front. I'm not gonna put the camera up because it'll just blow over. I will show you the finished product after I'm done with it. We're in a high wind today. Winds up to like 50 miles an hour. Something like that. 50 to 75. So really windy out here. But I'll get this on and I will show you. Alright, so that's what it looks like. I had this can of porch and floor paint just sitting around, full gallon. I don't know, unless I was using it for a project and I didn't need an extra or something. So I've been using this bluish, grayish color. I put it on the bottom and I put it on this here. As you can tell, it's not quite because these sides are not 4 feet and this is a 4-foot board. Same with the bottom, but as long as it seals it, it should be good. We'll put some like seam sealer around it or something. But the reason why I didn't go all the way up to the top is because I'm going to put more of a siding type thing on it. Special plywood. So it kind of has more of a look. So that'll be later on. My attempt at doing my own wood seal actually didn't work too bad. It's on there. It's not going anywhere, and I sanded it down. So that worked. I'd say fairly decent. The old liquid nails I had did not adhere right, and it kind of separated. But I'll squirt some more new liquid nails inside this gap here, and then once I secure like a board, the board's up top here, I'll screw it in and tighten that up. But it's on there, it ain't going nowhere. It sealed it up somewhat, but some spots it didn't. And that could have been my fault when I was pounding on this insulation here. Probably pulled it out. Always a lesson to be learned, but we'll figure it out. Okay, boils and ghouls. So far, I've been filling in. I'll do more of a in-depth look at the what I'm doing on this side, on the other side. Because this side was kind of me figuring out what I'm doing. I'm putting on this plywood particle board siding on this side underneath, and then it's going to be 1/2-inch plywood all along the what would you want to call it? The bath, the bowl, the boil? I don't know what you want to call it. But all along the bottom is going to be 1/2-inch plywood, just for strength in case anything bangs into it and stuff. It just doesn't want to break through. Right now, I gotta fix on some spots along here that I figured would happen with the old liquid nails I had. Wasn't very strong. Starting to do that in the front. Here's a huge gap, which is going to be sealed up again. And I'm starting to put on these beams. Then I'm going to put a beam on top. These are up 1 foot, 12 inches, which I think is good enough for the front. And then it'll be angled. So we're going to do that all along here. And I'm putting these double seals on the front. So I'm going to put the beam on top and the beam across. But we'll continue to do that. Crossed it. Alright, well hopefully I'm not in the way of the shot. We gotta do on every one of these beams where I'm doing it. So the beam comes out, there's a screw in here. I'm just gonna hook it up. But I'm gonna have to put probably some smaller ones in here too. But we'll get there. We'll get there when we get there. I'm using a little overkill. I'm using 3.5-inch screws along here. Just because this is going to have a lot of force on it. I was originally going to put a piece of plywood on the top, but I decided against that. For the fact that I figured it was more of an overkill. Well, I can compensate for 1.5 inches, half an inch. See, like right, I was saying, like right here, we're gonna have to put a screw in, which are 1 1/4. Just to pull this together. Doesn't pull it tight, but it sucks it in enough where I don't have to worry about it. You don't got these huge gaps. I did throw some new liquid nails in there just to give it more grab power. Like I said, every one of these is 12 inches or a foot. Like I said, it might be overkill to have 1.5 inches, but I mean 3.5. But I just want. I was gonna go with 4s, but that's what I thought. You have to put one right there. That's fine. Also, this could have been done from the pounding. It's not. There's no gap on this side. It's just right along here. And this could have been done to the fact that I was pounding, put the insulation in. Huh, gotta find my other ones. There's an eagle. I'm trying to rest these things on these beams because it just, to me, it seems like it makes more logical sense. Get a knot or something. Ah. There we go. Liquid nails making this thing, like I said, this thing's, with all the stuff, it's so rigid. I don't see where we're going to have a problem. There it is. And just one right here. Anyway. See? The liquid nails just seeped out. Technically on the front I have 8 screws on that beam. And I probably could take all 8 of them off and they'll still be just as strong. Oh, one more. I got rigging up. Cut 6. And I only need a 5. And then we'll cut the beam here. Yeah, no, I can't use wood saws because I put the plastic sheeting on here, the vapor barrier. Which is fine. Like I said, I'm not worried about this. This here sealed up real nice. Here's along this side and then that side. This side here's got a little bit, but not like that. Last piece is big chunkers. So I'm going to measure from here across, and that's going to be my thing, and then I have to start angling it. Underneath an elm tree, it saps crazy. It's like I got some gunk in there. There we go. Let's try this again. There we go. side you got these big piece. It's gonna be, so it's gonna tie it together, and hopefully that makes it more rigid. It should. Too far. We're gonna put two, just because it's a big piece. Put two at the other end and put two in this end. And then it's gonna be, I don't think 45, I think 20 degrees. I'll have to measure my degrees. I gotta get all these lower pieces on before I put it, well, not on this side, so much this side. Last one. There. Those are all on. I think I fixed my justification on my front. I wasn't going to put so much screws, I was actually going to tack these in from the top. But did I ever show you this? This is what the underside looks like. It's kind of pretty. Okay.